Hey guys, before we get into this episode, we want to address the tragedy that struck our town on April 28th, 2021. Two officers lost their lives protecting our town, and our heart aches not only for them, but for their families, their friends, and fellow law enforcement colleagues. We want to thank all the law enforcement officers that go out every day and lay their life out on the line to keep us safe. To Sergeant Chris Ward and Deputy Logan Fox, you gave us the ultimate sacrifice, and you will be in our thoughts and prayers and our hearts forever. We will be adding the GoFundMe link and any other resources and donations set up to our link tree if you would like to donate and have not already. Please join us for a moment of silence to honor them before we get into this episode. Thank you, and enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, and welcome back to 3 to the 4th. I'm Will.
And I'm Bailey.
And today, again, for the second time, because our recording crashed and none of it's saved, we're going to talk about the Appalachian Football Club and give a general roster breakdown. The boys get started pretty soon. Around this week, they travel out to go play.
First match is actually, I think, Saturday.
Yeah.
May 2nd Saturday is that Sunday.
That is exciting. So we're going to take a look who's exactly on this team, the players, but not only just the players, but, who's behind the leadership, owners, coaches, everything like that. But before we get started, let's talk about the National Premier Soccer League, which is the league the Appalachian Football Club plays in. The National Premier Soccer League, or the NPSL, is one of the largest established men's soccer leagues in the United States, with over 90 teams competing across the country. The NPSL is the successor to the Men's Premier Soccer League, the MPSL, which was formed in 2002. You can talk about their vision?
So, what's crazy is they already have 90 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm used to seeing leagues with 30 to 32 teams.
Mm-hmm.
They already have 90, and they're growing even more. Their goal is to have over 100 profitable teams in over 100 different communities to help grow the United States as a soccer nation and to potentially win a World Cup one day.
Yeah.
Which I think is great to develop not only youth people, but also get older people also back into the game so they can help teach the younger people what's happening.
Yeah, because also, America right now, we are not a soccer nation.
No.
I mean, we have people who play soccer, but we are not, on the international level, a successful soccer country.
No.
I mean, we haven't made the World Cup in a while, since 2012, I think, 2014.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't know, it was when we had that insane goalie whose name I forget.
Tim Howard!
There you go, Tim Howard. And obviously this year, our youth team for the Olympic qualifiers sucked. So it'll be good to kind of get these people in developed. And as we look down this roster, you'll see we have a lot of people coming from overseas to play here, play in the country and play for these teams because, maybe they're just looking to be the more successful players on their teams instead of, overseas where it's probably a little more competitive and a little harder. So the NPSL is providing a lot of great time, especially in the summer, for these kids to gain experience and play. But let's break down the Appalachian Football Club. Who is the owner? So the main name is Jason O'Keefe, and that name should sound familiar to you because he was the former Appalachian State head coach before the program got cut, which is pretty infuriating that the program got cut because of COVID. And hopefully, we don't know if the program's going to come back, but I can't imagine that, there'll be a time when it doesn't come back.
I feel like we have to get that program back at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's within the next year or the next 4 years. I think either way, that program is going to come back, and there will be black and gold soccer on that pitch that's associated with the school.
Yeah, agreed.
So, it's not like he was a bad coach either. Like, it's not like App FC, or not FC, App State is the reason that the cut is because they suck. No, they were good. They had back-to-back winning seasons the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. They were 11-7-1 in 2019 and had 11 victories in 2019, which one was a 1-0 road win against the ranked North Carolina.
Wow.
So, good old boys in Chapel Hill lost to our boys.
It sounds like we kind of own Chapel Hill.
I think we own Chapel Hill in any sport.
Yeah, especially in 2019.
And someone made it. Actually, never mind. But that was the first win for the program over the Tar Heels since 1980. Yeah. And now, good news for Jason O'Keefe. It's not like he's just only owning the football club and that's it. Mm-hmm. He's actually the head coach at Robert Morris University right now. So that's very exciting. He was announced to be their head coach on November 23rd, which is very exciting because he's getting more experience that also can bring into the program.
Mm-hmm. Definitely good to see that, while, yes, the program getting cut did suck, a lot of these kids, didn't skip a beat. Most of them transferred away, which sucks. But they transferred to go be able to play the sport that they love and that they're good at. And coaches as well were able to find new ways to, focus on their soccer career. But another thing that I really, really enjoy about the Appalachian Football Club, and especially their ownership team, is that they're also owned by a lot of businesses around Boone. Two of the biggest things, if you walk past the Boone Saloon, you'll see a big old white Appalachian Football Club logo. And also Booneshine. Yes. And I was just over there the other day, and they got some Appalachian Football Club stuff up there, which is really, really awesome. But something was just announced recently.
Just announced as we recorded the episode that just got deleted, App FC announced their jersey sponsor, which, for one, I'm used to seeing Chevy or different car brands or different big brands like Coca-Cola and stuff on a jersey. But this, for App FC, is Mass General Store, which I'm very excited about because I'm glad to see a local Boone business being promoted.
Yeah.
Obviously the original one in Valley Crucis. They've spread all over the mountain region. I'm very excited to see it. But I think it's really cool to have that kind of business here. And plus, when we go play different clubs, they see Mass General Store. They're like, what the heck is that?
What is that? Yeah.
And then they look it up and wow, it's a pretty cool place. And it's not just a random mom and pop general store. It's something that's a trademark.
And definitely, I think Mass General Store is definitely, the second most iconic, business here in Boone. Besides McAdoo's, of course.
Oh, 100%.
Mass General Store is definitely, one of the most iconic stores. You come up and, if you look, hey, what to do in Boone, it's always, go visit Mass General Store, dig into the barrels of candy and stuff like that, So I think that's a really iconic, and I think, as we've talked about, the Appalachian Football Club is just doing a great job of connecting themselves to Boone. By building, Boone-based ownership, Boone-based leadership, these marketing teams, sponsorships. They're just doing a great job of, we talked about it last time, a lot of people will support anything if, Boone is attached to it.
If Boone is attached to it and the marketing is great, which they've done amazing.
And I think they have hit both sides. But coming off of Jason O'Keefe, the former App State head coach, let's talk about our head coach, Dale Parker. He's originally from England, where he played for the Workshop Town Football Club in the 5th Division of English Pro Soccer. In 2006, he moved to the U.S. and became a 2-time All-American player at Lees McRae College, which is right down the road. He played for Chesterfield United in the NPSL in 2013 and 2014. And he's coached a number of U.S. youth national team players in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. And then in 2019, he joined the coaching staff at Lander University, which may sound familiar to you because that is where Kermit Smith used to coach, I believe, if I'm correct, as the assistant coach. And then in 2020, he became the head coach of the development team for the number 2 ranked D2 team in the country. So Dale Parker is bringing on loads of different experience, not only as a coach, but as a player as well. In not only across, overseas, but in college as well, and also in the NPSL. So he knows how this league works, and he knows how to really be successful in this league.
It's going to be really cool to see. So moving on, you have our assistant coach, Corey Speed. He's the Guilford College head coach during the 2019 season. He led his team to the highest finish in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, which, I love it. Previous to Guilford, he was been the assistant coach for Virginia Tech, Roanoke College, St. Edward's University, that's in Texas, and his alma mater, Sterling College in Kansas. And as a player in Sterling College, he received honorable mention as a goalkeeper for an All-American team. Now, for me, just playing different sports, seeing a defensive player, especially a goalkeeper that not many people want to play, as a head coach, assistant coach, that brings such a different perspective to the pitch. It's like, you don't get that all the time. Usually your head coach is you have Zidane, who was an attacker, or a midfielder. You just mainly get offensive players. You get that defensive perspective as well as having Dale Parker together. That's going to be great to view different perspectives of the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important when you have a head coach and an assistant coach. You're bringing in 2 different mindsets and definitely 2 different playing abilities. And as we've seen, he has been a very successful assistant coach at Virginia Tech and Roanoke and everything. So he's definitely bringing on some good experience, not only as a player and as a former goalkeeper, but as an assistant coach as well. One of the coolest parts of the leadership team that I think is really awesome is our technical director, Art Rex. It was really a just high country household name. He's the former Appalachian State soccer coach. He recently retired after a 40-year career at Appalachian State University, teaching in the Department of Geography and Planning, specializing in geographic information services. So congrats to you, Art, on a fantastic, fantastic career. He served as the assistant coach for the soccer team from 1979 to 1980, and he became the head coach in 1981, and he was the head coach until 1997.
It's crazy.
That's a long tenure for being a coach. And adding on not only being a 40-year professor, but a 16-year head coach. It's just
I love it. He's Boone. Boone is what he loves, which is why I'm glad he's here, because he's going to put so much work into this, because it's Appalachian, it's Boone, it's at Ted Mack.
Agreed. And Art is currently the Vice President of Player and Coaching Development for the North Carolina Youth Soccer Association and oversees the Olympic Development Program, Coaching Education, and the North Carolina Youth Academy Program. So that seems like he is bringing on lots of good experience from business side as well. He's worked in these situations of, soccer businesses, developmental associations, that he knows what he needs to bring in to be successful, to make this club successful, which gives me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see that.
But what exactly does Art do? So part of his technical director role will be to serve as an assistant coach, focusing on player growth and development, which he obviously has a lot of experience in. He'll act as a representative for the Appalachian Football Club to the soccer community, the high country, and the surrounding areas. And in this position, he will serve as a valuable resource on club and team strategic planning and development. So it seems like we are bringing in an absolute beast of learning how to build the status and reputation of this club.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see. We already have such great leadership in our coaching staff, and after going over the players yesterday and today, there's so much leadership already in there. So I'm very excited to see how our program develops with all this leadership, all this different experience together, and how, you have Dale, you have Art, you have Corey. How are they going to do it?
Yeah.
How are they going to put it all together? I'm very excited to see how that does.
Now, one of my favorite parts of the Appalachian Football Club as we start moving into the roster was, of course, when the soccer program got cut last year. A lot of the kids, it was very sudden. It was a very sudden
no one
cut.
expected it.
Nobody expected it, to the soccer program to be cut. It was a pretty sad day to see a program like that where you have a lot of kids who, chose to come here, against different offers, chose to make the high country their home to be successful, and that program got cut, which is just really, really sucks. And obviously, they're not the football team, they're not the basketball team, and it sucks, but, they definitely were one of the more successful programs, not only for, performance, but fan attendance as well. But the Appalachian Football Club has helped with that, and we have brought in, as of right now, 6 players who formerly played at App State have come back to play for this Appalachian Football Club and get back into the high country soccer. So we're going to look at them. So Bailey, do you want to talk about the first player, Juan Hernandez?
Yeah, so Juan Hernandez is currently finishing his undergraduate at App State, so he's still a student here. He still lives in Boone. He still does all this. He was the 2018 and 2019 team captain, was a 3-year starter, which means he started all 3 years he was here while the soccer program was here. That means he would have been a 4-year starter if we still had a program, which is very exciting to see that kind of level player be the first person we bring back and overall just have all this. So, as Coach has said, he will bring firepower and creativity on the offensive side and will provide great leadership, which I love. Having leadership on both sides of the pitch is great, and especially being the first player we're listing, those are already great accolades.
Yeah, very good accolades.
So I'll let you go on and move to Nick.
Yeah, so Nick Buchholz currently plays at Fordham University. He was a former goalkeeper for App State, but he was redshirted in his freshman year. So he's able to bring in a little bit different experience. He was sitting his first year here at App State and got to see, the program develop, but he still got to work with the team.
Yeah.
So Dale Parker says that he has a lot of potential as a young goalkeeper, and with our assistant coach being a former goalkeeper, I think that'll be a good relationship of really how to build up his potential into a successful goalkeeper.
Yeah, which I'm very excited to see that old talent bringing in with the new talent.
And obviously, as we've said, Dale Parker had to see something in him to put him on the team.
Yes,
so
100%.
He definitely has that potential to be a good goalkeeper for us.
So my next is one of my most exciting players, and I'm very excited to see how he plays because of just his accolades alone. So we have Zico Harris, such a cool name, love it. He currently plays at University of Louisville, so he goes to Louisville. He's a D1 college player. He Coach Satterfields is there, so everyone knows Louisville.
Yeah.
The 2019 Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow.
Best defensive player in the Sun Belt. 2019 first team All Sun Belt. So obviously with Defensive Player of the Year, you're going to get first team All Sun Belt, and then second team All Southeast Region by United Soccer Coaches in 2019. That's Southeast, the entire Southeast, all colleges. He's one of the best defensive players.
That's real impressive.
So I love that. And then not only was he the 2019 first team All Sun Belt, but he was also the 2018. So he's a back-to-back first team All Sun Belt player.
Wow.
So I'm very excited to see how it goes. He's a 3-year starter, 2019 co-captain, and his defensive quality experience will make him a good role model, especially for the younger players that have not as much experience, like, for example, Nick Buckles, who was redshirted his freshman year.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah, that'll definitely be really exciting. And we have a lot of younger kids as we get further down the roster who are, first, second year in a collegiate college. And, unfortunately, because of COVID, probably didn't get a lot of experience at the collegiate level. But we have these kids who are bringing in a really good collegiate experience. So moving on, we have 3 more players from App State. The first one is Camden Holbrook. He's currently playing at Syracuse, which is very impressive to be at Syracuse. In his 2019 season at App State, he started in 12 games and was featured in 17 of them. But with that play amount, he was tied for second in scoring for the team. He had 3 game-winning goals, ranking him 3rd in the conference and 49th in the nation for game goals, which is really awesome. But what's really impressive is his 2018 freshman resume. He started in all 17 games in 2018, was the only freshman in the Sun Belt to lead his team in goals and points. He led the black and gold with 17 shots on goal and calculated a .739 shot on goal percentage. That's awesome.
I love that.
That's really freaking accurate, for being, just a great player at that level. He was tied for 1st among freshmen in the league in goals and 1st overall in points. He made 2nd team All-Sun Belt. He was the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week and was named the United States Coaches National Player of the Week. He was named one of the top 100 freshmen in soccer by TopDrawerSoccer.com and earned all-state honors by the North Carolina Collegiate Sports Information Association. So, super impressive.
Top 100 freshmen in the country. Which I love.
That's insane.
That's a great player.
I mean, it seems like he kind of regressed in his 2019 year a little bit, but, I mean, he had a very impressive 2018 year. Not a co-captain, sorry. But, just really impressive 2018 performance, really impressive 2019 performance. And he just seems like he's going to be an overall great player. So how about you talk about our next two?
So next two, they don't have as many accolades, but they're also younger players. Like, they were freshmen last year, so it's not like they've had as much experience.
Mm-hmm.
So Kelvin Molina was a freshman in 2019. Like I said, played in 10 games, had 3 shots with 1 on target. So obviously he didn't play too much, but he played in 10 games. He didn't start them. He's a freshman. COVID year. Canceled it. Like, what can we do about that?
Yeah.
And then Myson Darden, freshman in 2019, and played in 18 games. So he played more experience, but he also is a freshman, so he didn't get the full-on experience. Now we move to outside of App State. There's some exciting players.
Really
international players in here. So I'm very excited to see how that goes.
So first one is going to be Kevin Arguello. He's a midfielder. He was born and raised in Nicaragua, and he's one of probably the most impressive players we have. At age 14, he represented his U16 Nicaragua national team and was named the most valuable player at age 14 for his U16 team, which is crazy good. He was one of the youngest players to sign professionally at his home club in Nicaragua, and he spent 3 years playing professionally before he moved to the U.S. When he moved to the U.S., he's gained experience in the NPSL, where he represented Gate City Football Club, which is in Greensboro, in 2014. And currently, he's a coach in the High Country Soccer Association, and he's lived in Boone for 12 years. So, not only is he a great international player, but he's also become a not household name, but like a local, well-known guy in the High Country soccer community. Yeah. Being here for 12 years, coaching and playing in Greensboro.
He's a Boone boy, so I love it.
How about you go ahead and talk about Jeremiah Luma?
Yeah, Jeremiah Luma I'm also very excited to see. So he was born in South Sudan. He now lives in Atlanta, which, sadness, he also plays for Georgia Southern. But he now plays in black and gold instead. Yeah, so I'm not too upset about it. He played for the prestigious Atlanta United Academy for the MLS team Atlanta FC, which is a very good club. Yeah. He played in 50 games and scored 3 goals during his U18 and 19 career, which you see 50 games, 3 goals, you're like, oh, that's not really good. Remember, he's a midfielder defender. So it's not like he's a striker shooting every time he gets the ball. Yeah. No, he's back there playing defense and getting the ball, but also has goals. So he has that ability to move up the pitch and see that there's a slot, I gotta go. Yeah. So I'm very excited to see how that goes. And before he joined Atlanta United's academy, he played for youth clubs Chiefs FC and Inter Atlanta FC, who both played a critical role in his development. So I'm very excited to see exactly how he develops and works with all of our other players.
And it definitely looks like he has the experience to really bring to the table what this club needs. Of playing with different teams and really, playing well and being a starter in every game for Georgia Southern in 2020. Yeah. Very, very impressive. Let's go ahead and talk about Will Wagner, the center back. Currently plays at the University of Kentucky. The University of Kentucky, which is crazy. He was a standout youth player in the U.S. Development Association, playing for the Virginia Development Association from U15 to U19. He also has overseas playing experience, which is always awesome to bring to the table. He spent time in Germany and lined up against the likes of Liverpool and Middlesbrough in the UK. Played against Liverpool. Liverpool, which is just insane. Head coach Dale Parker, one of the really cool things and unique things about Will, Dale has actually has coached Will before in the youth ranks and knows his potential and qualities. And he said that when he got the head coaching job, he had a couple players in mind, the 6 from App State, but also Will Wagner was one of the players that he really wanted to bring on, which is great because we obviously see that him and Dale have great chemistry and obviously like being together, which is really good to see.
Yeah, like seeing a coach see a player maybe once or twice in his life and be like, I want him in my team. I want him wearing my kit.
Yeah.
that shows you the qualities that this kid has. So I'm very excited to see exactly how it performs for us.
Exactly.
So next you have Diego Gonzalez, the backline and midfielder. He currently plays for Old Dominion, and it's said that he's an up-and-coming local star. So I'm very excited to see exactly what that means. But usually if you're branded with an upcoming local star, you're good. Like, obviously there's like some bust, but it's like when you're branded like that, so people see something in you enough to say it out loud and tell the public that. So I'm very excited to see his potential with us.
Yeah, and I definitely, we'll just got to see if he stands up to his reputation.
Exactly.
Moving on, we got Thomas de Graaf from Amsterdam, Netherlands, which is pretty exciting. He was a standout player at Shawnee State, where he started all 19 games, contributing 9 goals and 6 assists in his first season in 2019. And also, apparently, he has a reputation for scoring spectacular goals. So, Bailey, what do you think you want to see in your first game?
I need a bicycle kick. Now, bicycle kick, outside the box would be beautiful, but obviously it's most likely going to be inside the box. If that's the first goal in Appalachian FC history, I will buy both kits.
Yeah.
100%.
I'll hold you to it.
All right, bet. But so I'm very excited to see that. Obviously, a scorpion kick would be even better, but that doesn't really happen as much.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything spectacular, like top bins, just straight up.
Like, you do a backflip into a kick is what I need. Straight, just
honestly, yeah. So next is my best nickname on the team so far, even though this is the only nickname I know of, Edris Neymar Sandoval. So he's originally from Guatemala. He's been developing his game in Liga de Football Beleza for Hawks United FC. And obviously, he's nicknamed Neymar. So, Neymar isn't like a name you're like, oh, Neymar's he's blank.
Exactly.
He's a sometime starter. It's Neymar. Like, he played alongside Messi. He played in PSG now. He's up there with the best players in this generation right now. So, obviously, if you're named Neymar, something's good about you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm excited to see exactly what Neymar Sandoval has for us.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a good thing. So, well, that's another player that we're going to have to hold to a pretty high expectation, being nicknamed Neymar, especially if he wants to promote that, then he's got to stay up to it. Moving on, we got Marco Vesterholm. He's one of the 3 players that we have from Elon University, so it's really cool. As you'll see, we'll go down the line, and we got some kind of pairs and trios of teammates coming in from same colleges, so that's pretty exciting. Marco's currently at Elon University. He's a midfielder from Denmark. He played in 16 games in 2019, and he started in 13. He played with the Randers Football Club team, and he served as the captain of the U13, U15, U16, and U19 squads, and he was named the MVP after helping the club team to the Aarhus Championship.
I love seeing that he was not only captain for 1 team or 2 teams, but 4 different squads.
Yeah.
Like, that shows you his qualities as a leader, which I'm very excited to see exactly what those qualities are. Like, we have so many, I mean, we've only gone over, like, maybe 10 names, maybe? Yeah. And there's so many captains. There's so many leaders on the team. So many different levels of experience that we're going to see exactly.
And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how all these captains and star players of their teams really mesh together. Because that's what's going to be really important, I think, really hard is, everybody's kind of coming from being the star players at their own program. So it's like, how are these players going to mesh, not being the main guys, not being the guys to take control of the game. How are these players going to mesh? And especially as captains, how are they going to mesh?
Yeah, so next we have Dennis Bates, who is currently at Shawnee University, and he's a midfielder from Wales. So he's got that overseas experience and knowledge. We don't have much on him besides that, but seeing he's from Wales, he's played there. He's played with some of the best club teams, so he's going to be a good player, I'm assuming. All right, and then Tristan Delaf.
This guy's really impressive.
I'm so excited for him. He's currently at Limestone, which I love. He's a midfielder from Dubai. So he's got that different experience from just being from Europe. He's obviously from Dubai. He's the Spring 2021 second team preseason All-South Atlantic Conference. So seeing good at his preseason, right? Like people are like, oh, preseason rankings don't mean much. He's only preseason, like no one cares. But in Spring 2020, he was second team All-South Atlantic Conference. So he showed us that not only was he good in the preseason, but he stayed through that entire season.
Yeah, he held himself up to that standard.
So that's very exciting. And then he was 2019 second team All-Conference Carolinas, 2019 Conference Carolinas Player of the Week, Week 1, 2018 Conference Carolinas All-Tournament Team. So I'm very excited to see. He's an all-tournament player. He's an all-South Atlantic Conference player. He is a player like that will bring you to the next level with so many different accolades. Player of the Week is great to see, especially Week 1 where everyone's getting rust off. So he was up to a level and people just meet him there. Like, I love that.
And in the 2018 to 2021 stretch, the only accolade he didn't earn in a given year, or the only year he didn't earn an accolade was 2020, which was ultimately probably canceled because of COVID. Mm-hmm. But it obviously showed in 2021 this man didn't skip a beat.
No.
Earning second team All South Atlantic. He just definitely has not skipped a beat.
No, not at all.
What's also nice is bringing in a teammate from Limestone University, long to go with Tristan, is Alex Render. He's a defender from Chesterfield, England. Don't have a lot of stats on him, but he's a teammate for Tristan to go along with and mesh with. Mm-hmm. So bring some familiarity for both of them to the team. So that's really exciting. Let's talk about Wes Ferry. You want to talk about Wes?
Yeah. So his high school accolades are very, very good. So he's currently at UNC Asheville. He's a defender from Havelock, so he's a local boy. I love that. I love seeing players from NC as well as obviously international. But in high school, he was voted team captain of each of his past 2 seasons as a junior and senior, and was also all conference as a junior and senior.
Wow.
So he is the best player in his conference, back-to-back years, probably has good leadership skills on his team, earned all-state distinction as a senior, so one of the best players in the state, competed for Swansboro Coastal Force in club competition, participated in the U.S. Youth Soccer Olympic Development Program in Europe from 2016 and 2019. So he was seen as one of the potential U.S. men's team players, which I love seeing.
That's crazy.
Especially years ago when he was younger. So he has even developed more now, especially with experience in that. Mm-hmm. He was also part of the USYS NC ODP team for 3 years and also was in the USYS South Region ODP pool for 2 years. So he's had so much different experience playing around as well as being a leader.
Yeah.
And obviously playing in Europe for the development program. That shows you something about him.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of impressive high school accolades, and we just have to see if that carries over into the next level. Also from UNC Asheville, we got Connor Beeham. He's a midfielder from Dublin, Ireland. Prior to UNC Asheville, he served as the team captain for his U19 squad. He made his competitive debut in the EA Sports Cup, assisting on the game-winning goal in that game.
Yeah.
His U17 team were national runner-ups in 2018, and then he served as the team captain for the U15 team that won the league title. He represented the Republic of Ireland on developmental squads at the U15 and U16 levels, and he earned multiple Player of the Year and Top Goal Scorer awards at his schoolboy level.
Like, it's not just one Player of the Year and Top Goal Scorer. Multiple. Which I love.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be a good player. He's national runner-up. He won a league title. He was representing the Republic of Ireland on developmental squads when he was 15 years old.
Yeah, and he's got that clutch gene, insisted on the game-winning goal. Yes. He's got that EA Sports, we're in the game type beat, which is great to see. I didn't know that EA Sports had the soccer cup, so that's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. I like that. So next up, we have Charlie Kurz, currently at Elon. He's from Gainesville, Virginia. He's a midfielder. He competed for the Virginia Development Academy club team under head coach Matt Lacey. He was a 4-year starter at U.S. Development Academy, playing in 72 total games with 66 starts.
Wow.
So he's your starter. He is a starter for you at a developmental academy, which is massive. And then he also played overseas with the club team in Spain and England in 2016 and 2018, respectively. So he went to Spain, he played there, he came back to America for a year, and then went back to England and played another year. So I love seeing how he switched up and got different experiences playing different levels and different players.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, we got Vemund Holvik, another teammate from Elon University. He's a defender from Norway, so he's got those Viking genes in him. Played in 16 games in 2019 and started in 13, and he scored the game-winning goal against Duke. He was named the Colonial Athletic Association's Rookie of the Week. So this guy's bringing in some impressive accolades as well.
Another clutch gene.
Being in with his 2 teammates from Elon, will have some comfortability and chemistry with this team going in. How about you talk about the last guy who's got one of the funniest names I've heard?
So the last guy we got here for App FC is Thierry Vandenberg. Currently plays at Shawnee State. He's a defender from the Netherlands, so we got another Netherlands boy. He started for PEC Zwolle U17, won the league championship not once, but twice with PEC Zwolle, and then transferred to DVS 33 in 2017. So not only did he didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to win this championship and then leave." He won the championship. Was like, you know what? Let's win another one. And then won another one.
Yeah.
Like, I love that he has drive. He has proven that he wants to stay and win cups.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to get us to succeed at a different level. Which
and that's always great to see. You know, that a player coming in at that level, winning a championship, and not taking his success elsewhere, but staying with his team, which is always great to see. But guys, that's all the players we got information on. If the Appalachian Football Club wants to release any more players, we'll see if there's any way that any of them are notable enough for us to get some information out to you. We can certainly try. But I mean, it seems that from the looks of what we've looked at today, we got a fairly impressive team going out.
I'm very excited to see this team.
I mean, I think we got a lot of good leadership in the coaching and the players. We got a great developmental marketing team. The Appalachian Football Club has done a fantastic job.
I love it. Like, speaking of marketing, they actually opened up their team shop this weekend.
Oh, yes.
We actually went and visited them just to see. I copped a scarf, and we both got stickers. But if y'all do want to go check it out, it's at 2743 Highway 105 in Boone. It's right between Taquieta, El Paso, and Badcock Furniture. Yeah. So it's a pretty good spot, good location. It's a nice store. It looks amazing.
It looks really cool.
I think they redid the whole interior and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have beautiful merch. They have some great quarter zip-ups. Personally, I want one of the kits. I kind of want the yellow kit. If Appalachian FC wants to send me a kit, I would love that. Obviously,
as well.
Obviously, I'd probably pay for it, but I mean, they have such good merch. They're doing well on marketing. The colors are great.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good variety. Obviously, we have the mascot, Sasquatch, who's a great man.
Really scary seeing it in person, though.
But yeah, no, like their marketing has been amazing. Like they've I don't even know when they made their Twitter account, but everyone knows who they are. Like, that's the thing. Everyone, or for a majority, everyone knows who FC is. Like, let's see. They joined August 2020. Yeah. So they've been around for a while.
Almost a full year.
Yeah, which is amazing. For marketing that long without playing a game is beautiful. And what they've done and kept it up.
Yeah, they've gotten their stuff up so quickly. They've gotten sponsorships up, and again, like you've said, they've gone with local Boone businesses and they've connected with the town of Boone. Which is, if you don't like soccer, I mean, I'm a fan of anybody who wants to connect more with the town of Boone.
Yeah.
So I think we got a really exciting club going on here. Hopefully, this is a long tenured thing. Hopefully they'll be here for summers to come. And we'll see how successful this summer goes. Go out, get your tickets, go online. They're selling single game, season tickets. They're really cheap. You can get field side for $25 and general admission for $10 right now.
Yeah, I love that. We'll be field side for the next Michigan game against the Otters.
So we're really excited for that. But Bailey, you got anything else for the people?
Go Sasquatches. That's all I got.
All right, I'm Will.
And I'm Bailey.
And this has been 3 to the 4th.
See you later. Guys.